Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, Shakur Stevenson is interested or campaigning to face Emanuel Navarrete. Navarrete was recently in the ring with Robinson Conceição, and Conceição did an amazing job boxing, but did get dropped. And because of that, the fight was ruled a majority decision. Now, in my personal opinion, the way that they were hyping Navarrete, you would have thought that he was a monster in the ring. And I'm talking about the announcers for Top Rank. He did not look good to me whatsoever. And I don't think he looked good in his previous fight either. I mean, he's a very awkward, aggressive type fighter, Jay. Somebody who, in my personal opinion, will probably be perfect for Shakur Stevenson, who can sit back and just sharpshoot and counterpunch. And this is the guy that Shakur Stevenson is interested in fighting. He currently fights at 130 pounds. Shakur wants to bring him up to 135. I can somewhat get it, considering the fact that, Shakur was recently at 130 pounds. But at the same time, there's a lot of smoke and energy for Gervonta Davis, and supposedly the fact that he doesn't fight the best competition, if you will. Well, right now, Shakur Stevenson at 135. He needs to be making his mark at 135. So I wonder if there's going to be people in the comment section in regards to Shakur Stevenson, his fan base, who really, truly, they support Shakur, but will be also in support of this particular fight. If we're going to have this energy for Gervonta Davis, then we got to have this energy for Shakur Stevenson. And then really, Tank went up to 140, regardless if he had any kind of weight stipulations in terms of rehydration. The point is, he went up and fought somebody at 140 who's now campaigning at 147 and potentially will be in the ring with Bruce Ennis next. So, for me, I don't like the fight. I think there's other fights for him, just similarly as we talked about Gervonta Davis yesterday, and not liking the fight between he and Cruz. I don't want to see this fight either. I prefer to see him go back after Frank Martin, or let's see if he can make a fight with Zepeda. Or I would even be okay with Lomachenko. Those are fights that would be interesting because I would like to see, the contrast between he and Devin Haney in the ring with Lomachenko. All those things would be interesting for me. But I don't necessarily want to see Navarrete because I just feel like he's tailor-made for Shakur Stevenson. My personal opinion. Jay, what's your thoughts on the fact that he's now campaigning to face Navarrete?
Yeah, like you said, one of the people that give Tank all Abdul Wahid. That's his new name. Also Tank. All the smoke for supposedly bringing everyone up to fight him at 135. So, a little history on Navarrete. He's, like you said, he's an awkward fighter. He was fighting at 126 just in August of 2022. Not even 2 years ago. Then he moved up to 130 and fought Leon Wilson at 130. He arguably lost that fight because he got knocked. He had a long-ass count that gave him a time to recover. He had over 10 seconds to recover from that. He was hurt. Came back and, stopped Leon Wilson. Then he dog-walked Oscar Valdez. That was good showing by him. Then he had a questionable, fight against Robinson Conceição, as you said, to a majority draw where he was getting outboxed. Satan was knocking Conceição down twice in that fight, what made it a majority draw. He's very awkward, and to your point, he's tailor-made for someone that's a skilled boxer. So why would you want to fight him and bring him up? I get it. USA versus Mexico. That's always sells. So that's what he's trying to do there. But I don't like it as well. I'd rather see him try to get another fight. See if he can intrigue Zepeda to finally step in the ring. When I know Zepeda has turned down before, but supposedly Oscar and them said they want to fight again. So see if they'll actually step up to the plate. See if you run it back with Frank Martin with a different deal. See if it'll happen now. See if he'll take a deal now that you are actually you're the champion. You had a defense already of that belt, regardless if it's a stinker or not. Or Raymond Maratala. See if he can get that fight. We know Isak Cruz is not going to fight you. We know he's waiting on a Pink Tay Part 2. Lomachenko and Kambosos are avoiding you so they can fight for a vacant belt. So try to get one of them. Try to get that Frank or Raymond, or try to come back around with William Zepeda, because bringing him up is not going to give you any value. It's not going to give you any value because you're bringing a smaller dude, a dude that was fighting at 126 just in August of 2022. This dude has never even fought at 135. Yeah, he has some power for fighting those other guys there, but he's just awkward as hell for a skilled fighter that's a boxer. It's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. That's my opinion on that. I just don't see it being a challenge for him at all. So I mean, I don't like it. I'd much rather Shakur try to fight one of the other people that's actually been at 135. Whether Navarrete is moving up or not, I don't care. I don't want to see that fight next for Shakur. Not at all.
Yeah, my thought is, Jay, if Conceição can outbox him, what's Shakur gonna do to him?
Yeah.
Like, we know and don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking anybody for taking a fight that is, not necessarily one of the killers of the division. You can't fight a killer of the division every freaking fight.
Yeah.
I totally get that. But I don't know if I would deem his last fight, I don't know if I would deem him as a killer of the division, right? And he's talking about wanting to take over the division. We need to, in my personal opinion, we need to see a little bit more out of him in terms of getting in the ring with the best fighters at the division. So, I like Shakur. This is just not a fight. Again, just like Cruz and Gervonta or Abdul Wahid. I'm not even sure if he's going by Abdul Wahid right now. But at the end of the day, I just feel like there's just better fights to make at 135 pounds. And I think this is an opportunity for Shakur, try to run it back with Frank Martin. I would love to see that fight. Frank Martin had the little dinner plate and the knife and fork up there as though Shakur Stevenson would be food, right? So he should be willing to get into the ring. Give him 1.2. You know what I mean? So he could walk away with something close to $1 million and make the fight happen. You get way more interest in that fight. Yeah, you get way more interest in that fight if you definitely get more interest than his last opponent. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on James Go St. Patrick's real name right now.
Edwin De Los Santos.
Edwin De Los Santos. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Well, I was, but definitely you're going to get more. You're going to get more. More interest in the fight if you were to bring a Frank Martin into the ring or even a William Zepeda. I'd be curious to see what William Zepeda looks like in the ring versus Shakur Stevenson or Gervonta Davis. But Navarrete, we've seen what Navarrete is. He's a smaller fighter. If he was a natural 135 pounder, maybe I'd be more interested in seeing the fight. But just right now, let's make something better, Shakur.
Yeah, I agree. And also with Navarrete, I mean, he has other issues at his own weight class, so people that could probably unify. You have a Shockey Foster, you have a Lamont Roach out there, a Joseph Cardona. You have options for him to unify at 130, for him to seal up that division if he really wants to try to handle that division there. More interesting fights, for him rather. I don't like it neither, him going up to 135, first fighting Shakur, another slick boxer, defensive-minded boxer. After Conceição was outboxing Navarrete for most of that fight, so Shakur will make that 10 times worse, and it'll be easy pickings for him. The only difference would be from this fight versus the De Los Santos fight. Navarrete is just coming out, gun swinging, guns blazing, no matter what. So that's the only thing that make it interesting.
You guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to this fight. Or would you be interested in seeing it? Navarrete versus Shakur Stevenson. Should Shakur get more pressure on him to face more stiff competition at 135 pounds? Let us know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media, and we are out.